This is Dave at AFX Search, private investigators in Palm Beach, Florida. Professional investigators already know this, but I thought I'd pass this along as an interesting example of paying attention to very small details. We ran into a case a while back where there was a fraud scheme, and nobody knew about this fraud in advance, but there was an individual who was creating an IPO for a company that he had represented to be a profitable large company that was going to issue stock. And what happened was the due diligence had been done by the underwriters. There was this hype for this company issuing stock. This company actually had to do with business services, providing services for for other industries and office buildings. So what had happened was this issue was going to come out in the next week or so. Everything was set up, was ready to go, and there was a reporter who was doing some background on the company and the founder to write an article in a business publication. And so he went to interview this principal, this inventor of this company, and he showed up in a limousine. He showed him all their office space, showed him all the stuff he was working on. And as the investor, or as the president of this company was driving away, the reporter noticed that the limousine had a regular license plate on it. It did not have a livery plate or a public service plate on it. He didn't think any big deal. He thought maybe he had registered in his name or whatnot, but this reporter just happened to know that license plates are different on limousines versus regular vehicles. So he did a little checking and found out that this license plate actually belonged on a truck. It actually wasn't even going to this Lincoln Town Car limousine. So he checked more into it and found out that this truck wasn't even registered to this person. It was registered to somebody else. Make a long story short, he did more investigation and found out that the whole thing was a fraud. It was a created illusion of a company, and this one license plate detail was what broke the case open. In fact, this company founder had created all of these details from scratch. Instead of, when he showed all the bankers and underwriters all these offices that he claimed he was working on and doing these services for, what he had done was go to real estate brokers who had office space for lease and ask them to be able to show the property as a realtor to a third party. He was showing these bankers all these properties that weren't even his. And he told the realtor he was just showing it to a third party for a sublease. All this property had nothing to do with his business. So instead of having just one little small office he was working on, he had these skyscrapers and office buildings all over these big cities that he was representing to be part of or to be providing services for, when in fact none of it was true. And this one detail on the limousine, which turns out he borrowed a limousine from a car dealership that had no plate and just slapped a plate on it from a friend of his truck to use, and had somebody drive him around to create the illusion of affluence or wealth, or that he was kind of a big shot in the marketplace. So as an investigator, we see details all the time. Who knows which one of these details is going to be the thing that breaks the case? It could be a license plate, it could be a sticker on the window of a vehicle, it could be something you see in a client's wallet when he takes out his wallet to pay a bill. It could be something found on a receipt. Every detail by itself may not be a big deal, but as you put them together and match them up with other things, it may be something that creates large value to your client or to the case.